I gotta say, I really liked the script from the read because I found that it had enough of what I grew up with on Superman, but it still was a different kind of take on a very revered subject.
We really chose to focus on establishing Krypton to get a better sense of where they come from, what they were faced with as a culture and as a planet on the edge of self-destruction. I think it was important to us to really get at the heart of who the Kryptonians are.
Krypton is a great sci-fi element, but it also serves as the framework so you really understand where Clark came from.
One of the things that we really delve into is the fact that he's an alien.
Well, because we were doing essentially a science fiction movie and we were highlighting Superman's alien nature, I wanted to spend a great deal of time on Krypton. And things like free will don't really exist on Krypton. John Byrne, when he reinvented Superman, I think in the mid-'80s, had suggested that Kryptonians weren't born in the womb, that they were raised in these matrices. I'm not sure if he called them Genesis chambers or not. That's something that we called them in our film. But we were at least following in his footsteps, this idea that in a way, Krypton was more like, you know, Brave New World. Your alphas and your betas and your gammas and things like that.
And your fellow.
It was really important for Zach and I, for the costumes of the council, to convey, you know, what those characters represent, which is a small-mindedness, a sense of holding on to tradition and, you know, cultural restraints that prevent looking at new solutions to problems. So it was important to me to do a very special sleeve for them because the production designer has created these beautiful chairs that they lean their arms on. So I wanted to have lots of fabric tumbling down and being very sculptural around these arms. The fabrics that I chose were extremely heavy. We created our own fabrics to try and convey this sense of alien textures that were not known to mere Earthlings like ourselves. So we manipulated a lot of fabrics. We screen printed onto velvets, we sort of etched into velvets, we embroidered fabrics. We really had lots of fun creating a whole palette of textures that were very unusual. It was a culture that was very sophisticated maybe a long time ago and went into decline after that, so they have old things that are very precious.
With the dyes on the fabrics, we're trying to suggest like the molding and decay of centuries of time. We
wanted them to feel like they were amazing 500 years ago, but have been like over-encrusted and calcified by layers and haven't really had the resources to maintain them properly, so they just keep on kind of getting heavier and more gritty until we finally see them on the eve of their destruction in our film.
Hey there, I'm DJ, visual effects supervisor on Man of Steel, and I want to talk to you about the Phantom Zone, which you're about to see. Phantom Zone is made up of basically a Phantom Zone generator, which is hovering over Krypton. It's a doorway that's permanently installed up there, a place to sentence all the criminals, I guess, on Krypton. But it's reminiscent of the '78 movie where they had the flat plane that kind of spun in space and captured all the guys in there. Ours is actually a little more of a doorway, and it takes on the form of whatever's going inside, in this case, the Black Zero, Zod's prison ship.
There is no refuge, Kilo. Jor-El was right. This is the end. Think a better world than ours, Cal.
Now we're going to look at Krypton exploding. We thought a long time about how that should really work. And we believe that the Kryptonians have somehow messed with the core of their planet. They've maybe done what is going to happen later on in the movie to Earth with the world engine, but basically they've messed it up. They messed up the core, and they've tried to make it dense. And the result of that is it's become probably a neutron star. So instead of this normal explosion of debris and matter into space that just goes out for infinity, we made it so that it explodes a little bit, but mostly freezes the debris in place. And the residue from that is just this little glow at the center of the planet, which shows that there's a failed sun in the middle that's basically wiped out the entire Kryptonian race.